Check 1 2. Check 1 2. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. fortnight to go in the league, with the Burgers coming here and proving to be successful with a 2-1 win. With Australian acclaim on the line, will it be deja vu in Dandenong for the Warriors? To find out will be myself and Adam Tahiri taking you through the call. It is an honour to be here. Adam, how are you doing?
Ollie, it's very weird how you and I find ourselves commentating at George Andrews Reserve every now and again, but it's a pleasure to be here as always, mate, with you. And by the look of your socials, mate, I'll start calling you Hollywood, Mr. Hollywood of the NPL. We're finding you on AFL. We're finding you on the soccer sites. Mate, it's awesome to be here. It's a cold one, but it's two very big teams, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's clash.
It is an absolutely massive game, you're not wrong. And obviously two massive teams, and we'll go through the lineups. Starting in goal for the Dandenong Thunder after a 4-game absence is Noah James, number 21. The outfielders, you've got number 4, Tommy Maricic, 5 is Mercer Mehmeti, 6, Harry Ashcroft, 10, James Poole, 11, Ali Suleimani, 15, Josh Meeker, 18, Jack Simmons, 20, Dennis Yildiz, 24, Lachlan Bird, and 26 is Chris Kiusis. And for Heidelberg, they're starting goal with number 1, Brendan White. Number 5, a goal scorer from 2 weeks ago here at George Andrews is Aidan Fetahagic. Number 6 is Joey Franic. Number 8, Dom Fowler. Number 9, Adrian Zara. Number 10, Ivan Franic. Number 12, Dion Nicolaides. Number 14 is Kane Shepherd. 15, Brian Summerskill. 17, Josh Pinn. 19, Sean Ellis is your starting lineup for Heidelberg. And on the bench for the Thunder, number 1, Kane Runge. Number 3, Harley Orr. Number 7, Sandy ZJ. Number 8, Cam McGilp. Number 9 is Braden Mann. And for Heidelberg, they've gone with number 63, Nick Eresh. Number 18, Anthony Theodoropoulos. 20 is Luka Ninkovic. 21, Owen Ashton. 23, red carded here 2 weeks ago, Chudiar Tharjath. As was Luka Ninkovic, in fact, a game there they went down to 9. The Burgers won't be wanting a repeat of that as we're underway here at George Andrews Reserve. The Thunder in their home strip, the red and black striped shirts from right to left. Heidelberg also in their home strip, yellow shirt, black shorts and yellow socks from left to right. Dennis Yildiz looking to go back as the Thunder looks to keep the ball early on. Of course, had a 0-0 draw with second place Oakley in the league at the weekend. Heidelberg also having a draw with Bentley. 2-2 draw on that occasion as the Thunder look to work their way forward down the left-hand side. Kiusis first time ball, not a bad one! They almost got to a dream start. Suleimani shot blocked. Thunder bench screaming for a handball. And we were almost off to a flyer. Here at George Andrews, Heidelberg looking to break back the other way. Ball into the middle from Summerskill. And we nearly had a dynamite start in Dandenong. The Thunder, the hosts, almost breaking the deadlock inside the first minute. But George Katsakis' men survive. And how? Stunning block at the last line of defence, and somehow parity remains.
A very nice play and very early from Dandenong Thunder with intent, but just allowed way too much time there to play throughout the left side, allowing Chris Kiusis to send a lovely ball. That was definitely on target, wasn't it, Ollie? An interesting start for Heidelberg United with Adrian Zara at right back as opposed to his traditional central midfield role. Interested to see how that goes tonight.
Yeah, it looks like a 4-3-3, doesn't it, with Zara at right back and Franic at centre half. It's not too often that you see a number 9 and a number 10 in a back 4. But what can you do? Poor clearance from Noah James, who mentioned off the top. 4-game absence for him, including in the last round of the Cup against Port Melbourne. Kane Runge has been deputising in between the sticks. Of course, Noah James on loan from the Jets. Started the season in goal and kept well. His 14th appearance in all competitions for him. As Adrian Zara takes the throw, looks back for Ivan Franic, who represented Australia at the 2014 World Cup. Overnight, of course, they moved within one game of qualifying for another one. Ball intended for Sean Ellis. Chris Kiusis moving back the other way. He's forced to check. In ball to James Poole, who returns to the Thunder starting lineup through a run with injury. Nice back flick. Suleimani can't keep it alive, and referee Adam Bavkar will bring that one back for a Thunder free kick. So already a slight flashpoint. Both coaches unhappy with that slight passage. George Katsakis thinking that play should have been allowed to continue. David Chick wanting something more than just a free kick. At the end of the day, that's all that the Thunder have. Looks set to be the former Australia Youth International and former Melbourne City youngster, Mercer Mehmeti, to whip it in. The ball in his paw. Bit of a fresh air as the Thunder look to work it back towards goal. It should be cleared away though from the Burgers. Ivan Franjic going down the line. It was a poor ball intended for Josh Pinn, out of play across the touchline for a Thunder throw. Of course, we mentioned the fact that Heidelberg had won here a couple of weeks ago. They've ruled the roost when these two sides have played. Last 12 games in the NPL Men's Victoria era, 9 have gone the way of Heidelberg. Of course, it was the Thunder winning earlier this season at Olympic Village, winning 4-0 in round 2. As the players switched looking towards Kiusis, but never got through to him. It was well marshalled in the end by Adrian Zara, who was able to head the ball out of play. Mehmeti with time. Out wide now for Bird. Now Harry Ascroft. Looking left for Yildiz, infield first time. That was cut out. Franjic under duress. Zara short to Ellis, and they've worked this well for the moment, Heidelberg. Evading the Thunder press exquisitely. But then surrendering possession. Kiusis couldn't get the ball under his spell, ran out of room. And it's a Heidelberg throw from the near side. Perhaps a slightly quieter Thunder crowd than we're perhaps used to seeing, but given it's a midwinter night, midweek, that's perhaps excusable. Still not a bad crowd on their mind. Most of those hoping for a Thunder win. As Kiusis takes the throw. James Poole, Manchester City Academy graduate, giving the ball away. Clip forward from Fowler. He couldn't keep it for long. Of course, both of these sides, NPL Men's Victoria sides, looking to book their place in the national stages after Green Gully and Oakley did their respective ties. Both one-sided games too. I'm sure all neutrals are hoping for the opposite of that here as the ball's clipped over the top, looking for Zara. Headed away by Kiusis, but only as far as Sean Ellis, who takes it in field. Looks to lift it over the top, and in the end, it was too long. Was looking for the run of Kane Shepherd, but there was no way that the former A-League men's marksman was ever going to get there. And Noah James will restart play with a goal kick. Pull first time. That's not a bad ball. Suleimani making a run forward through the middle, but ball had too much on it for him. Ali Suleimani, who scored home and away against Heidelberg in the league. Scored the first of 4 away and half the deficit here a couple of weeks ago, so he knows how to find the back of the net against Heidelberg. Heidelberg have now got themselves a free kick, just forward of halfway. As they look to test Noah James for the first time this evening. It'll be Ivan Franjic to take. Veteran of the game in this country, Ivan Franjic looks to whip this one in. Headed away only as far as Adrian Zara, who took it down very nicely. Now with Joey Franjic to help it over the top. That's headed away by Maricic. Fowler has got a bit of space. Can he whip this one in first time? Elects not to. His cross was blocked and it's out of play for a Berger's throw. Not been a bad pace this one early. End to end, entertaining. Enthralling. But still, we wait for the game's first goal. Looks like this throw is going long into the middle. That's exactly where it goes. In the end, it's not worked well. Josh Pinn, after taking the throw, received the ball in an offside position. And the chance dissipates for Heidelberg. Simmons looking to get in behind Nicolaides. He's able to win inside a throw. Of course, Jack Simmons, much like Noah James, spent time on the books at the Newcastle Jets. Also, like the goalkeeper, having made one league appearance for the club. Mika looking for and finding Chris Kiusis, who has experience playing in the round of 32, having done so with Port Melbourne late last year, and they were bundled out by Hume. Pull round the corner. Intelligent ball. Mika. Forced to retreat. Given away poorly by Mehmeti. And the Heidelberg attackers looking to take advantage, but the ball from Ellis had too much on it for Brian Summerskill. So the Thunder back with the ball. Poole looking over the top for Suleimani, who'll get there first. Really clever touch, and now is the overlapping run of Dennis Yildiz, who just about keeps it on. Ball towards the back post. Chance for Simmons, who couldn't get there. Breaks for Lockie Bird, and his shot was poor. Sailed way, way over the top. Lockie Bird, with an effort that he'd love to have back, sending that shot flying over the crossbar. As the Burgers will restart play with a goal kick.
A great opportunity there for Lockie Bird that doesn't exactly see too much of the 10-yard box there. But looking at this game at the moment, Heidelberg are definitely getting on top in the middle. Ollie, I think they really want to work hard on this right side, but with the combinations between Shawnee Ellis and Adrian Zara, trying to isolate Shawnee Ellis as much as they can throughout offensive transition. But at the moment, for mine, I think majority of control and effective possession is with Heidelberg with a solid 4-4-2.
Knocked on by Joey Franic, but to no avail. Mehmeti all the way back. Soleimani dropping deep. Looking to fizz it out wide for Lachlan Bird, but gives it away. Ellis. Now, Joey Franic. Can he produce some magic here? Not a bad ball in. Potential chance for a penalty there in the middle. Josh Pinn looked as though he was wrestled to the ground. Nothing doing according to Adam Bavkar. As the Thunder look to move away, they can't. Ivan Franic stepping in. And they're looking to drive forward. Got space to whip a ball in. And Summerskill unable to control. But I tell you what, I think there was more in that penalty shout than what we may have first thought. George Katsakis with a shout, and I think he had a fair claim, you know. Adam Bavkar seeing nothing wrong with it and allowing play to continue. Of course, Adam Bavkar having experience at A-League men's level. One of the best referees in the state at the moment. Perhaps not George Katsakis' best friend at the moment. As Kusis plays the long ball forward. Away by Zara. Soleimani called to press. Ivan Franic all the way back to Brandon White. Looking over the top for Sean Ellis, but unable to find him. Going down the line, kept alive by Zara. Summerskill looking for Fowler. Looked intricate for a split second, but was undone in the end from Heidelberg. Pull wider. Ali Soleimani inboard. Ashcroft plays it out wide for Bird. Looks to whip it in. And it's a poor ball from the Western Australian. Behind for Heidelberg goal kick. Just over a quarter of an hour gone. The early chance to Ali Soleimani, perhaps the best that either side have had, was well inside the opening minute. Neither side have seen a sight on goal quite as good as that one. Heidelberg with a rather muted penalty shout, but other than that, not been too much to write home about. Bird high into the night sky. Beautifully controlled by Sean Ellis. Zara set away. Ellis looking for the return ball. And Yildiz seeing the ball out of play. Ivan Franic. Hayden. That's a Hagic. Sets an audacious task for Zara, who was muscled out of it well by Chris Kusis. The fullback for the Thunder, marshalling his opposite number in yellow and black. Seeing the ball out for another Thunder goal kick.
A lot of long balls from both teams at the moment. Ollie still trying to pick out an effective one for both sides. Yet it's a bit lazy at the moment, but I still think Heidelberg United, as you can see at the moment, are still maintaining majority possession and getting in the box majority of the time, a lot cleaner and a lot more formally compared to Thunder, with a shot on goal here and a great save by Noah. A fantastic shot by Pin. Great work on the left side, which he hasn't seen much yet. Majority of play has been closest to our side here in the commentary box, but a fantastic go there and a good save and a warning for Dandenong Thunder with a corner up for Heidelberg United now.
I think that'll give Noel James a bit of confidence because he hasn't seen a lot of action in recent times. So the fact that he's repelled that one and repelled it well will perhaps give him a little bit of a boost. It certainly gives the Thunder a bit of defending to do. Ivan Franic to send it in. Inside the 6-yard box, punched away by James, back on the volley. And a tame shot in comparison to what was needed. Ball forward from Joey Franic. Sean Ellis should keep it alive. In fact, he did, but it was in offside position. Just the wrong side of the Thunder back line. Playful jibing in between the two bosses. So throw-in is taken short from Zara. Franic back with Aiden Fetahagic. Ball goes forward. Chased down by Pin and away for another Heidelberg corner. So they defended the first one well enough, the hosts, and will be forced to do so again. Ivan Franic hoping to play the role of set-piece specialist. Of course, we've seen him do it so many times before at various levels. Can he produce it again here in the Australia Cup? In fact, he goes short. Nicolaides is there. Got time to whip it in, but it's blocked away by Suleimani. And a rather promising position for Heidelberg isn't taken advantage of, although the chance is still alive here from the throw. Throw in long inside the penalty area, flicks on. And who's that come off last? The answer is Brian Summerskill, as it's gone behind for a Thunder goal kick. Franic has barged Suleimani over. George Katsakis expletively looking to have a bit of a barrage at Adam Babcock. Did look as though that potentially Ali Suleimani played for it, but he's played for it well for his team. Free kick just forward of halfway. Maricic all the way back to Noah James. Now outside of his penalty area. Maricic wider. Bird on the Thunder right. First time ball from Mika. Wasn't what the doctor ordered. Fowler on the turn. He looks to send it over the top. Plays kindly for Shepherd, who we haven't really seen a lot of in this game. Kane Shepherd has been rather quiet, but he's done well in the cup so far. 6 goals in 3 games, and in all 3 of those games, he's notched himself a brace. So he's had quite the cup campaign so far. Yildiz, Kiusis. First touch slightly heavy, but he will keep the ball in play. Into the middle for Poole. Looks to clip it over the top. Not a bad idea, but wouldn't reach Mika. Pin all the way back to his goalkeeper. And in fact, it won't reach his goalkeeper because the byline won the race. And Heidelberg have cheaply conceded a corner and presented the Thunder with a real chance out of nothing to perhaps get something from this set piece. Ali Suleimani set to send it in. It's lofted in towards Bird. Somehow it's not crossed the line. Blocked away on the goal line. Heidelberg standing tall at the very last line of defence. Lockie Bird getting up, as he did so many times at the weekend. And like at the weekend, he couldn't find the back of the net and couldn't break the deadlock. How is this game still level? Look for all money that the Thunder had got the opening goal of the game, but it's a stunning clearance right on the line to make sure it remains 0-0.
A lovely connection there from Lockie Bird. A great opportunity for Dandenong Thunder, one of only 2 so far. Bit of life back in the game there, Ollie. Bit of lift from Dandenong Thunder. It's been a bit lacklustre from them, especially throughout the middle, but there we go. A bit of life in the game. Seeing players have a crack at it, it's fantastic. We need a bit of a lift.
Despite the fact that Heidelberg have probably had most of the play, the Thunder certainly were the better of the chances. I'm sure that many affiliated with the Dandenong Thunder thought that header would ripple the back of the net, but couldn't quite happen for them. Chris Kiusis is set to send this one in. Lofted ball. Headed away. The first time of asking by Heidelberg. Going back to goal, Shepherds. Franjic. He's forced to go back. Poole looking to press. All legal according to Adam Bavkart, and they've won possession back, the Thunder. Ashcroft. Bird did well to control that, but they'd given it away cheaply. As the Burgers look to move forward. Advantage played as there's a chance for Heidelberg in behind perhaps. But Noah James aware to the danger. Coming off his line to sweep it up. Well refereed that by Adam Bavkart. Saw the foul on Kane Shepherd and allowed play to continue. Heidelberg unable to get a shot away. And to be honest, I think that'll be George Katsakis' main gripe with the first half of this team, that they haven't quite tested Noah James enough. But he'll be pleased with a lot of other aspects from his team as they look to move forward again through Kane Shepherd, looking to get past Mercer Mehmeti. And the Thunder defender more than up to the task. Out of play for a Thunder ball. $18-yard box loaded. In fact, I should correct myself. It's a Heidelberg ball, of course. Out of play. Off Mercer Mehmeti. So it is a Heidelberg throw. And it's long into the area. Zara trying to use his body to let that one run through. Long ball towards Suleimani, who finds Poole. Across the Bird. He looks to open over the top. Suleimani was offside and realised it. And then the flag is raised on the far side. Dom Fowler. Now Nicolaides, who looks over the top. Pin flicks it on, and there could be a chance here for Brian Summerskill. On the left, and the offside flag had gone up. George Katsakis initially unsure to what the free kick was for. Certainly there, though. Fowler, back to Ivan Franjic. Shepherd won his header. Can they find Ashcroft to look to get his way through a few, and couldn't. Feder Hagic gives that one away sloppily. So Thunder look to move forward. Ashcroft, nice one too. Suleimani. And that's an awful first touch from him. And he'd want to do a lot better than that, I'd think. Another Heidelberg ball.
A little sloppy. I think Heidelberg United are a lot cleaner team at the moment, showing a lot more fluency and consistency going forward. I think the combination of work rate between Summerskill, Shawnee Alice, the boys in the middle, Franjic, and also Pin on the left side, are working a lot harder at the moment on the field, and it shows because they're getting it forward a lot more. Just lacking in the box, as you said earlier, Ollie. They're just lacking any threatening potential on Noah, but they're definitely getting it up there a lot cleaner, a lot consistently. As far as Dandenong Thunder is concerned, a lot of unnecessary long balls. Almost seems, I don't know, lazy, frustrated, or unknown to what they're actually instructed, because the coach is very upset with it. But whenever they get it into their offensive third, the combination between Simmons, Poole and Suleimani can be very dangerous.
Of course, we've mentioned how blunt Heidelberg have been so far. They have got one of the best attackers in the state outside of the Australian top tier in Kane Shepherd. 15 goals in all competitions, 9 of those in the league. So certainly you wouldn't want to give him too many chances. Simmons keeps it on but gives it away. Ellis looking forward. His pass was blocked en route. Joey Franjic toiling to keep the ball for Heidelberg. Ivan Franjic getting the ball to Adrian Zara. But Heidelberg forced to go all the way back before they can go forward. Nicolaides in ball to Shepherd, who's come deep to receive. Maricic cuts it out. Franjic forward. Looking for Brian Summerskill. Oh, very nice footwork. Ellis looking to help it back to Nicolaides, in towards Shepherd. Headed away. And then helped away. But out for a Heidelberg throw. As they look to make the best of the run of play that they have enjoyed throughout the half. There's just over half an hour that has gone so far. We won't be doing it from that occasion. Kiusis now looking to fizz one over the top. Suleimani making the run in behind. Away by Ivan Franjic. And helped on for Zara. He looks for Kane Shepherd as Adrian Zara, the Heidelberg captain, looked to chase it down. Oh, great feet. Kane Shepherd did so well, but then surrendered custody of the ball. Yildiz to move forward. Suleimani on the Thunder left, he's onside. And great work on a couple of occasions there by Ivan Franjic. Summerskill looks to move it forward. Ellis for the ball into the middle. And that's not getting over the top of Tommy Maricic. The man mounted at the back for the Thunder. Getting his head in between opponent and ball to nod that one away. Shouts of keep the ball from David Schick, who's been frustrated with what he's seen from his side so far. Yildiz looking to get past Summerskill, and he does that. Simmons, good sliding challenge from Fowler. Zara nipped in. Summerskill looking to get past Mehmeti, and he does just that. And just slipping in behind for Kane Shepherd, but that's so well defended by Maricic, but his pass away was awful. Heidelberg with the throw.
If I'm George Katsakis, I am giving my midfielders a massive pat on the back at half-time. The work rate, box to box, and earning that ball back off the opposition between Fowler and Joseph Franjic is fantastic work. You should be very happy with that.
I'm not sure that David Schick will give his midfielders the same adulation, unless, of course, they can grab something before the break. There's a long way to go before half-time. Joey Franjic. Looking to work it back for Summerskill from range! On target! Not a bad effort! And clawed out to the top corner from Noah James. That was arrowing towards the top bins, and somehow he stuck out a mitt, Noah James, and it's out of play for a Heidelberg corner. That is some effort from all of 25 yards. Somehow the game's still level. Whipped into the middle. Will it stay level for long? Away from Maricic. Still inside the defensive penalty area though, the Thunder. Not now. But they're not now with the ball. That is some save by Noah James. The best save of the night by either keeper.
What a save, but what a shot, Ollie. Fantastic. Summerskill has been working his backside off for his side. The majority of his work has in fact been higher up the ground, creating turnovers, and a deserved shot on goal there, and he actually deserved it. What a cracking shot.
Good football all around that. Great effort. Stunning save. Will that save give the Thunder a lift? It well might. Simmons, and Meek is offside. Looks such a good opening. Simmons with so much time. In the end, it was a good ball, but run made a bit too early.
It's actually onside, but the referee actually didn't hear it when it hit the defender's foot. So it's come from a Dandenong foot initially, come off the defender's foot, which in fact means the Dandenong Thunder player was in fact onside.
Paul looks to lift it over the top. Suleimani giving chase. White able to get there. Former Port Melbourne goalkeeper. Another one who's been at a club who've played in the final 32 of this competition with the Peninsula Power last year, as his side have now got a free kick. Heidelberg players appealing for a booking. One won't be forthcoming though. They do have a dangerous opportunity with which they can try and whip the ball in and perhaps get the opening goal of the evening.
We've definitely seen yellow tickets given for that before, Ollie, so I'm very surprised with that one, but maybe that's a sign of things to come from the referee today, that he's going to be keeping the cards in his pocket unless it's something that's very dangerous, which will also liven things up. It is a cup game. It's a massive game, and you go through to the last round of 32 after tonight, so Summerskill with the free kick here for Heidelberg United.
He's refereed the game well, Adam Balfcott. He's had a good game so far. Summerskill will take this free kick from the Heidelberg left, whipped in, not a bad ball, and it's nearly gone all the way through. A question whether Sean Ellis got a touch. In the end, it was perilously close to the upright for the Dandenong Thunder. Noah James, surely with his heart in his mouth, but it drifts wide of the post and behind for a Thunder goal kick. Really poor marking from the Dandenong Thunder. Heidelberg almost breaking the deadlock. Some ball in from Summerskill, who is now in the vicinity again. Couldn't get there though. John Fowler out wide. He's now back with Heidelberg's number 8. From St Albans. He was looking for Summerskill. Almost broke for Joey Franic. The opposite number 6 in Ashcroft helping it away for the Thunder. Ellis is offside. And that's happened on quite a number of occasions where a chance looks promising and the assistant referee's offside flag has gone up on both sides. Which has really taken the sting out of most of these attacks and out of the game in general, to be fair. Six minutes to go in the opening 45. Away by Ashcroft. Simmons taking it down. Can he find a ball in behind? No, he can't. Ivan Franic, well defended. Cleared it forward. Mika flicks it on. Poole looking to return the ball back from whence it came. Mika giving chase. Seen how to play back off the former Hartlepool attacker. Summerskill, really intelligent ball from the Englishman. Zara didn't find anything forward of the ball that he liked, so went back instead. Ivan Franic now. Joey Franic, how to play off Dennis Yildiz. Formerly was a youngster at Hume, who was one of David Chick's former employers. Laterally from Ivan Franic. Hargic looking wide. Ellis has an overlapping run of Zara on offer. Ignores it at first, then gives it him. His first time ball wasn't a bad one. Joey Franic with perhaps more time than he thought, as he receives the sarcastic jeers from the Thunder fans. It was a poor effort, all things considered, because he certainly had time to get something more menacing behind it. But in the end, out of play, the ball went. And I'm sure that Burgers fans will be rather disappointed with that. Game back underway. Ashcroft. Fowler forward. Summerskill is back to goal. There's a bit of handbags off the ball. Bit of push and shove. All a bit unnecessary. And you called before, Adam, about wanting the game to liven up. Well, we've got a flashpoint.
Fantastic. About time, we needed it. It's far too cold to be playing a quiet cup game, Molly.
It was, I think, well, it was certainly Brian Summerskill. It was a set two with Harry Ashcroft. Bit of afters after the ball had gone. And so, all got a little bit unsavoury. But all sorted now, bit of housekeeping done by Adam Bavkar. Looks set to be 1 minute of added time added on to the end of the 45, which, to be honest, is no real surprise, given how the half has gone. Summerskill to lofted in. Away again by Maricic. Fowler to whip it in towards the back post. On a bad ball. Away by Maricic. First time volley from Summerskill is over the top. Was collected after striking the ball, but certainly not a foul. But he came at that ball with real pace, did Brian Summerskill, after taking the set piece. Converged upon the ball, looking to lash it into the top corner, and was well wide.
He did. He's really imposing himself in this game. He really does want to win. For mine, Ollie, at the moment, Summerskill best on. Definitely.
He's been one of a few, really, for Heidelberg, as the Thunder playing with fire and not afraid to get burnt. Almost did on that occasion, as Paul looks out wide for Mika, who won't keep it alive. Really good pressure from the Heidelberg forwards, putting the Dandenong Thunder defence under the heat. And they almost cracked. Throw taken down the line. Fowler. Back with Nicolaides. Cleverly plays it off James Paul. Chris Kiusis. Will this be the final act of the first half? Yildiz looking to switch the play, and he's much better than that, and he knows it. Looking up to the sky in frustration, Dennis Yildiz. That little passage there from Dennis Yildiz just summing up in microcosm how this half has gone, really. It's been lacking in the final third as James clears it forward. Yildiz there again. Kiusis. Now Suleimani right on halfway. Mika making a good run and was just unsure where the ball had gone for a moment. Goes back and finds it. Yildiz. Kiusis on the overlap. That's where the ball goes, and it's ahead of him, and that is the end of the first half. The first half that started so promisingly with that early first-minute chance for Ali Suleimani. But in the end, that's arguably close as either side have come, excluding, of course, that Brian Summerskill effort towards the end of the first half for Heidelberg. A first half that really has lacked in a lot of areas, including in terms of goalmouth scrambles. James nor White tested really in each respective goal, and at the break, we are, as we started, Dandenong Thunder 0, Heidelberg 0. We'll go to a short break here in this Australia Cup clash, the round of 64, the final round of preliminaries here in Victoria, and we'll see you back after that. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to George Andrews Reserve for the second half of this Australia Cup clash between the Dandenong Thunder and Heidelberg United. First half that, after a first minute chance for Ali Soleimani, a half that flew out of the blocks, meandered on really after that. I think that's being generous. It was really not the best half of football that we've seen all year. But we have got a second half that we hope improves. To be fair, you'd think it would have to after that showing in the first 45. Regardless, it is a pleasure and a privilege to be here at George Andrews Reserve. Myself, Ollie Walker-Peel, alongside Adam Tahiri. Adam, I would ask you what you made of the first half. I think we've had that discussion during the break, but instead I'll look a little bit more optimistically. What are your hopes for the second half?
Ollie, thank God we have a heater. No, we don't. We just have the pleasure of each other's company. It is a cold one here. Not a lot of action to provide, but the hotline has gone absolutely wild at halftime with a couple of hello requests. Steph Leo and Frankie Karatzis over at the FV headquarters, probably still slaving away at the desk while football's being played, and thank you very much to them, because without them the game would not be going ahead. But look, Ollie, it's a cup game. If you do not win, you do not progress. So it's the second half now, and it looks like we have two substitutions being made at halftime by David Chick's Dandenong Thunder. Harley Orr and Braden Mann coming on. And Ollie, I can't seem to... Who's come off? Who can we not see that was on the first half? It looks like James Poole's been taken off. A very interesting move.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really surprise me given the fact that he's only coming back from injury. I think that's one thing you've got to have a look at. I think he's one that's come off. Kane Runge also wants to get himself involved. He's been out there playing most of the last few weeks, but on the pine tonight. And just trying to see who else has come off. To be fair, I think Ali Soleimani's now out on the left-hand side due to the Braden Mann change as the second half is back underway. Heidelberg from now right to left. There's a fresh air swing from Lachlan Bird. Ball's whipped into the middle. Could be a dream start for Heidelberg. Ellis unable to get the cleanest of controls. Still alive for Heidelberg, who are starting the first half and starting the second half as well as Dandenong Thunder started the first. And they've got a whisker away again. Back with Fowler. Into the middle. Headed away. And cleared further away. Frantic start to the second half. And if this second half continues on this trajectory, then we are on for a belter. Just to complete the housekeeping, it's Dennis Yildiz, the second change, who we couldn't name because of the barnstorming starts to the second half that we've just had, with Heidelberg coming close and keeping the pressure on. Nicolaides robbed of it by Simmons, looking for Braden Mann, the half-time substitute, and Simmons as well to win it back. Harley Orr also on at the break, looking for Mika, couldn't find him. Adrian Zara, lofted ball, looking for Kane Shepherd. What a ball! What a touch! What a goal! It's beautiful from Heidelberg! It's picturesque football to the highest order and to the highest degree! Michelangelo couldn't have painted a prettier picture than Heidelberg have just done there. Stunning ball over the top, expertly controlled and tucked away with aplomb. And Heidelberg have got the early break. We called for a better start to the second half. Boy, have we gone and got it.
Ollie, that's one of the calls of the day, the Michelangelo one. I love that one, mate. Wow, what a first touch by Kane Shepherd. Very bad defending by Dandenong Thunder to allow that cross to come in, but wow, you really need a compliment of striker's touch like that and a lovely finish. And that is why they made a V-line for Kane Shepherd to come back to the club. Well done. Heidelberg United up 1-0 here. We have a game, Ollie. Let's see if Thunder can reply.
Kane Shepherd, we said at the break how he hasn't had it go his own way in the first. 45, but he's had it go his own way in the second half. Making his mark on this game with an exquisite goal. As Harley-Orr is impeded, and the Thunder have got themselves a free kick, and they must respond. A club who have never made it to the Australia Cup national rounds, with a golden chance to do it. And now, having to try and fight their way back to parity at least. Forward from Maricic. Not on the same page as either Mika or Mann. Bird getting up. Mehmeti. Looking for Simmons. Who's that come off last? The answer is Jack Simmons. Play back underway almost immediately. Josh Pinn running into the freight train that was Harley-Orr, who stood his ground. Mehmeti. And all of a sudden this game has livened right up. Orr barged off it fairly by Joey Franic. Looking for Summerskill. Heidelberg looking for a second. Into the middle. Almost getting all the way through to Kane Shepherd. Away by Thomas Maricic. And the Thunder are at 6s and 7s at the back. Whatever was conjured up by David Chick at the break hasn't had the desired effect. And the Thunder remain on the back foot.
The Burgers just been giving free rein on that right side, just getting through too easily. And very dangerous. Shawnee Ellis now with the corner. Thunder need a lift.
So it will be Sean Ellis then. Set to shape this in. And a bad ball towards the 6-yard box and tapped home. And it's 2 in quick time for Heidelberg, who in 5 minutes to start the second half have almost killed it off. They've got 1 foot in the national rounds. And again, it's awful marking from the Thunder that has cost them so dearly. It was almost a tap-in from about 2 yards out. And Heidelberg are racing away here at George Andrews. 2 goals to the good. And the Thunder have got to find something quickly now.
The Burgers cleaning up a lot of their effort, and the rewards come. 2 goals, Ollie. 2 goals in 5 minutes of football. Great for Heidelberg. Very bad for Thunder. At the moment, struggling to get it beyond halfway. Braden Mann now with his first touch since being subbed on. And Heidelberg back with the control. 2 goals down in the cup game, Ollie, after half time. And like we both agreed, that first half where Heidelberg were unlucky to not be 1-0 up. And very quickly now, 2-0 up. Josh Pinn with 2 to beat. Bird clears. Braden Mann, the fresh sub on, putting some pressure on, which we didn't see in the first half. (2-0) now. Let's see if the Dandenong Thunder players have more of an attacking output as opposed to reactive. But right now, Ollie, the signs are not good.
Just having a look back as to who that came off last, I think that might well have been an own goal. Having a look back, it's tough to tell, even on the replay, who got the last touch. But Heidelberg won't care. The Thunder look to fight back. They've got a mountain to climb now. Ashcroft leaving it for Mika. Bird out of play off Joey Franic. Maricic gets around Summerskill with relative ease. Now with Simmons skipping in field, hits the deck. Play allowed to continue. Kane Shepherd was offside. Realised it and let the ball run. Kiusis. The Thunder lose out again. Shepherd furthest forward for the Burgers, but he couldn't get to the ball. Bird looking down the inside right channel for Mika. As Heidelberg are forced to clear their lines. And Joey Franic just halting Dandenong Thunder's advances. And Adam, it's been an awful start for the Thunder in the second half. The first thing you don't want to do after conceding one is concede another straight after, and that's exactly what they've done.
I'm just searching it throughout the Thunder list at the moment in regards to players' just attitude and behaviour toward getting back into this game or getting a goal or getting it close to the box. And at the moment, it's just really flat. And it's disappointing because, Ollie, we've called a couple of games together for Thunder, and we know the players that can really sort of make a difference or change things and it'll play a lot better. But tonight's just not their night. Heidelberg United have been a lot more consistent and fluent together. And that's why they're on top, and they've deserved the 2 goals. But at the moment, I don't see where it's going to come from for Dandenong Thunder, although a good turnover now from Ali Sulmani, and it looks like a free kick for Harley Orr. But that's what they need more of. They need that more. They need more of a defensive output from their players across the front and the middle to turn the ball over and put the pressure back on Heidelberg United.
They've got a free kick. Have the Thunder as they search for answers. Their fans search for answers. All in red and black. Just looking for reasons as to why they've been put in this position. As it shapes into the middle. Orr is on marks. Well kept by Brandon White, and it had to be because Harley Orr was there and waiting. Soleimani doing well to keep the ball. Harassed by Zara, who took it away from him. Oh, skipping in field nicely. The first opportunity was Yildiz, who then cynically pulled down Dom Fowler. Just having a look back at the replay, just trying to spot who scored the goal. I think, in fact, it may well have been Brian Summerskill who got the final touch, who has had quite the game. He was in and around it, and Heidelberg players went straight to him. So it looks as though he's got the final touch, and Heidelberg with a 2-goal lead. As the clearance was poor, Braden Mann is offside. Just needed to time his run slightly better, and he would have been bearing down on goal. But he was the wrong side of the Burgers' back line. And the offside flag from the near side will thwart his foray forward.
That's exactly what they need, and well done to the substitute. Braden Mann has been fantastic for Thunder this season so far. That's what they need, that pressure throughout the middle, putting the Burgers defenders under pressure. They've just had free reign the whole day, just taking their time, playing possession football, but at least now there's a bit of pressure there and it creates a mistake and you can get onside for goal. Maybe it's Braden Mann who'll produce something special for Thunder.
He may well have been carrying and not coming into the game, but I do think it may be a bit of a mistake not starting him from the off tonight. I wonder whether that'll come back to bite Thunder where it hurts, because he has been their leading marksman and then some throughout the start of this season. Of course, got the winner in the last round against Port Melbourne too. Intricate bit of passing on the edge of the box from Heidelberg. They may well have a third, and Noah James just standing in the way. It was beautiful one-touch stuff from the Burgers. Getting out to their left-hand side, whipped into the middle, and they almost landed the killer blow. The Thunder still alive, but on life support at the moment. hanging on by their fingernails. And I dare say that if they've got 1 foot in the round of 32 now, they would have been there had that found the back of the net. Simmons. Looking for Mika. Man on his bike and almost in behind. Well defended though by Feder Hargic to head the ball away. Ellis. They're on the precipice. Heidelberg from another win at George Andrews, and they've got a free kick. Of course, their best run in the Cup for Heidelberg, quarter-finalists 3 times, falling to Melbourne City, Adelaide and the Bentley Greens in those years. And I'm sure that if they were to get through tonight, they'd fancy themselves to make a similar run. They certainly have the talent, despite faltering somewhat in the league. So we wait for this free kick to be taken. Adam Bavkart lets it go. Headed away at the edge of the area, only as far as Dom Fowler. Franic, look over the top. Bird should head away. Couldn't get much behind the header though. Now Pin. Hemmed in by Maricic. Given away to Mika, whose clearance is off the Heidelberg man and out for a throw. So we approach the hour mark here at George Andrews. Thunder looking for something to bring them back in. Miscontrol by man, Ivan Franic. Thought he was hauled down, but not to be. Still he goes. Looking across for Pin. Who whips the ball in towards the back stick. A delicious delivery towards Sean Ellis, who nodded wide. My word, that was some ball in. They are toying with the Thunder defence here, Heidelberg. The delivery was nothing short of special. Sean Ellis unable to find what would have been a fatal third. Nicolaides takes it away from Bird. He thought he was being pulled back. Of course, it was Heidelberg who led 2-0 here a couple of weeks ago. And it was around this time that the Dandenong Thunder had found a goal to half the deficit. Of course, that's how that game ended. Mika. Or Bird. Gives it away. And Kane Shepherd does likewise for Heidelberg. It's now just a question, I think, of if we'll see one of the Thunder's best players, if not their best, in Cam McGill come off the bench. He's had a rotten run with injury of late himself. And Braden Mann limping away there, which won't be a good sight for Dandenong Thunder fans. The ball's played down the left-hand side. Pin slipping over at the crucial moment. Noah James with a goal kick.
15 minutes just ticked over now. And this is usually the part where the coach that's losing the game speaks to his assistant about what they should possibly do going forward, because they're 2 goals down now. David Chick looking at his bench, as you just mentioned, McGill. We also have Sonny ZJ on there, so there's 2 players that can definitely get the ball forward and create something. But who would you take off, Ollie?
That's the interesting call. It definitely needs something injecting that Thunder midfield, so maybe Josh Mika to come off for Cam McGill. That would probably be a like-for-like, sensible sort of switch. I can understand if Simmons was the other one to go off, but if I was in David Chick's shoes, I'd be going for the former South Melbourne man. As Brian Summerskill is set to send this one in. Goes for goal himself and looks to catch Noah James unawares. Slightly errant with the shot, though. Not a bad idea, though, mind, from Summerskill. who has had some night, nearly added to it with another goal. And it just feels like there's another goal on the way, and it's going the way of the visitors at this rate. They're on the verge, you'd sense. Nicolaides sends it down the line, too much on it for Pin.
I agree with you on that call, Ollie. Mika for McGilp. And I'd go further to say Sonny ZJ on for Ali Sulmani. Just get an injection on that side.
Mika charging forward, Sulmani forward to the ball. And he just couldn't get through to him. Zara stealing in at a time when he was needed, as Pin looks to get there ahead of James, but he won't. And we've talked about Heidelberg Dandenong Thunder changes. Heidelberg will make a change of their own. Former West Brom youngster Owen Ashton set to come on. Away by Maricic. Helps over the top, Summerskill. Maybe he thought he was offside because he didn't chase after the ball with the intent or vigour that maybe we otherwise maybe thought he would have done. Forward to Simmons, looking for the ball back first time towards Harley Orr, who was fouled. And maybe now the change will be made for Heidelberg. And it'll be Sean Ellis to be withdrawn. Not a bad player to bring off the bench though, Owen Ashton. 2 goals and 3 assists in the league. 15 league appearances for him this season. Been virtually an ever-present. And here we do see Cam McGilp. He'll be coming off the bench for the Dandenong Thunder. So, after George Katsakis just took a diamond off his bench, the Thunder respond by taking a gem off of theirs. He'll be on in a moment, Cam McGill, looking to save the Thunder's cup run. And Heidelberg looking to see it end. Ball forward, intercepted by Lockie Bird. Good feet by Simmons. Braden Mann had 2 Heidelberg players for company and didn't win out. Ball over the head of Joey Franic. Let's wait to see who Cam McGill will replace. You think that the next time the ball goes out to play, that's when the change will be made. Adam, if you're the Thunder boss, who are you taking off?
For mine, I'd definitely bring off Mika for McGilp. And as I touched on early, Ollie, I'd probably put on Sonny ZJ, give him a run on the same side where Ali Sulmani currently sits and bring him off.
So to play for a corner. So the pressure continues to rise from Heidelberg. To be fair, it hasn't really relented at any point in the 22 minutes or so in the second half, as Sean Ellis has made his way round to the Burgers dugout and had the Heidelberg fans here in attendance being present on this near side. I feel like he would have got quite the ovation. This whipped in towards the middle. Thunder looking to clear. Simmons hitting the ground and drawing the foul due to that. And here is the change. And it's not either midfielder as we were perhaps predicting. Neither Simmons or Mika. It's in fact the captain, Harry Ashcroft, who comes off. McGill then coming on. Looks like for the moment he's sitting deeper than Mika and Simmons, so he might well be going into a 6 with the 2-8s ahead of him, and his first involvements isn't quite living up to the embellishment that we were giving him while he was on the bench. If you're a first-time watcher of the Dandenong Thunder, he is a lot better than that Cam McGill. But not on that occasion. So they're running out of room here, Heidelberg, and they have run out of room. So after a first half that tiptoed by, the second has raced by in a flash. And Heidelberg will be, of course, the happy with the two teams as to how it's gone. Here's McGilp on the turn. Silky from Cam McGilp. Spraying out wide left. For Kiyusis to move forward, who slips. McGilp continues his run and gets the ball back. He's brought down. Play allowed to continue. Suleimani looks in the middle and he gives it away. One of their homegrown heroes turning villains now, Ali Suleimani, on a night that really he hasn't had the run of the green. Braden Mann, well defended by Dion Nicolaides. Harlior given away a foul, or he would have done had the referee not played advantage. Well done again by Adam Bavkart. They're looking to get through the middle again here, Heidelberg. Now on their left-hand side, pin in field. Owen Ashton looking to clip it across. Zara, they're ahead of Suleimani. Hagic sending that one out of play. With 20 minutes to go on the 90. Thunder look in trouble of exiting the cup again before the national rounds. A club the size of this would surely have circled that objective as a hopeful one. Certainly better than last year's efforts when they were bundled out in round 4, but round 7 will hardly feel any better. Rocky Bird clotheslined. Matty forward. Suleimani somehow keeping it. Mika cleverly letting the ball go. Bird looking to help the Thunder forward. McGilp. Mika. Mehmeti. Wide for Kiyusis. Now with Cam McGilp again. The former Melbourne Victory and Swindon Town man. Lachlan Bird looking to attack Josh Pinn. Putting a ball into the middle, but cleared away just inside the defensive penalty area for Heidelberg. Or Mehmeti looking for Simmons. That's a good ball. And he should have gone across goal, Jack Simmons. You just wonder how many more opportunities that they're going to get and how many more opportunities that they'll throw away. Simmons had Braden Mann there in the middle, and he probably, you'd think, would have rolled the ball into an unguarded goal. Simmons going for glory, and in the end coming away empty-handed.
Well within his right to have a shot, and would be praising him if he scored, but then again, in hindsight, Maybe should have squared it, as you said, Ollie. Done the team thing, and Braden Mann was in the correct position. But a much more positive part of play there. The last 2 minutes, Dandenong Thunder actually keeping it on the deck, passing it around, getting it into the zones where they actually want to release the ball and get the ball in the box. So let's see if that continues at the moment.
Mehmeti, Suleimani in space. The ball was behind Kiyusi, who slipped anyway. And that errant pass potentially prompting the change. Sunny ZJ being ready to come on. As Bird drives forward, Simmons possibly his final act with the ball at his feet. Bird getting out of the way of it. Tried to run through for Mann. Simmons, now Mika. McGilp, or Simmons looking for Cam McGilp in space. Just slipping in behind for Braden Mann, who couldn't get there. Nicolaides standing tall in the back for Heidelberg, as the whole back line have done. And in the end, or at least for the moment, the Thunder unable to break them down. Suleimani into the middle. Not a bad ball. Back out wide for Ali Suleimani to whip it in. Muted shouts for handball from the Thunder fans. Bird nodding it on. Back into the middle. Away from Dion Nicolaides. Inboard from Simmons. Nice swivel from Mika. But it was only the swivel that was nice. The ball forward. Far from it. Out of play. And now here's the change. Thunder having to go for broke, really, because they've got no other option. Jack Simmons withdrawn. Sunny ZJ on in his place. So we're into the final quarter of an hour. In the 90. ZJ looking to attack Dion Nicolaides, and Nicolaides up to the task. He's had quite a wonderful last couple of minutes, Dion Nicolaides, the Heidelberg fullback, coming up trumps for his team. Maricic with whip into the middle. Chance for Mann, who looked to try and work an opening. Suleimani hustling and bustling to win the ball back. Looking left for Kiyusi, it's under hit. Zara getting there first. It's out to play last off Chris Kiyusis. And behind for a Heidelberg goal kick.
Just the midfield at the moment for the Burgers have just put the cue on the rack, I think. We have about 20 minutes of play left, 2-0 up. And the hardest thing to come back from is, whilst you're leading 2-0, to be the threat of 2-1. So looks like George is getting a bit antsy, speaking to his subs about warming up to make some changes, and but just the midfielder just seemed to have relaxed a bit in the last sort of 10 minutes, and the substitutions from Thunder have definitely picked up. And one of them with the ball now, Sunny ZJ to Mika. Mika through ball. So Ali Suleimani has a shot and saved. Getting in the right zones now. The tempo's lifted. As I said, Heidelberg have definitely slowed down throughout the middle and starting to let it creep through the cracks to where they were being so defensively sound for the majority of the game. But Dandenong Thunder with the tails up, trying to get that goal back.
It was almost Suleiman who got the goal against the same opponents 2 weeks ago that provided a route back in for the Thunder then. Just coming up short. Good save from Brendan White. The ball looking in behind. And Noah James playing the role of sweeper keeper. In the end, he didn't really have to, due to the flag going up. Not a bad run, though, in fairness, from Shepherd, but just not giving himself enough time to stay behind the Thunder line before breaking forward. Bird called to go forward, and go forward he does. Looking for ZJ, not getting there. Nicolaides again. He's been absolutely Herculean at the back. He's had quite the night. And George Katsakis, with a 2-goal lead, still seeing fit to make a couple of changes. And not a bad couple of players to bring off the bench, with Luka Ninkovic and Anthony Theodoropoulos coming on. Looks to be Josh Pinn and Adrian Zara set to come off. Luka Ninkovic, a player that has been at Heidelberg now for a little while, since 2020, formerly of Floriat Athena, Bayswater City. Theodoropoulos, midfielder, formerly of Melbourne City's Academy. The ball's behind for another Heidelberg goal kick. Of course, there's still time in this game to play, but next week there's some big games in the NPL Men's Victoria competition. The Thunder going away to Altona, the team who beat them 2-0 here earlier in the season. And Heidelberg, how about this, away at Jack Edwards, Oakley Cannons, who of course booked their place in the round of 32 last night. Heidelberg looking set to do the same. All the way back with Noah James. He looks forward. Mika. Looking down the line. Braden Mann. Couldn't find ZJ. Bird forward. Cut out before it reached Braden Mann. McGilp looking for the voice of Harley Orr, who immediately sent it on for Mercer Mehmeti. He can't knock the ball by Theodoropoulos. They smell blood in the water, Heidelberg. Ninkovic making the run into the middle. It's over his head and well past Summerskill. And the chance goes begging. Mika looking left for Kiyusis on the overlap. Can he whip something in? Fizzes it across goal. Man can't keep it alive. Just needed Sonny ZJ to gamble. Had he lunged at it, had he got anything behind it, the Thunder would have had a prayer. It was out of his reach. And perhaps now the national rounds look out of reach for the Dandenong Thunder. Braden Mann. Out of play. Mehmeti. Kiyusis. All the way back with Tommy Maricic. Former PAEEK man. McGill looking for ZJ, not a bad idea. Breaks for Mika, who charges forward. Well defended by Fowler. Taken down again by McGill. Or Mehmeti. Kiyusis, as Heidelberg Get almost everyone behind the ball. Something that you don't blame them for, of course, given the situation of the game. All looking for man. Headed away from him. Mika looking to find a shooting chance. He won't do that. Maricic making a run forward. Breaks inside the area. Loses the ball. And giving away the free kick.
Definitely there, that free kick. Big Tommy Maricic, you could just sense that he wanted that shot there, didn't he, Ollie? Marching through, he had had enough. He wanted to take that shot, but Theodoropoulos just getting his body in the right spot at the right time and doing what was needed for the Burgers and earning himself a free kick there. A lot more lively, the Thunder, Ollie. It's great. They've actually lifted. It's taken 2 goals, and in hindsight, probably should have started with this the 11 that are currently on. But an interesting one for the viewers and their opinions to see if the right starting 11 did, in fact, start the game tonight, being a cup game. And as we touched on earlier, Ollie, win today, you go through to the last 32 and lose, and you're out of the Australian Cup.
So much on the line. If not at least for national fanfare, at least for financial benefit too. Looks like Heidelberg will reap those rewards. Kiusis, Soleimani on his way and ignored. Kiusis instead looking now left. He does find Soleimani. Overlap of Orr. Back with Kiusis into the middle. Not a bad delivery. Well kept by White, who has controlled his 6-yard box ever so well when called into action. He's looked oh so confident whenever the ball's got anywhere near him. Hasn't had many saves to make, but has claimed the ball with relative ease. McGilp. Bird. Now ZJ on the right. Bird taking the throw quickly. McGilp across. Mehmeti. Wide still for Kiusis. Bird looking for McGilp and giving away the ball. Ninkovic got options left and right. Looks for Ashton, who finds Summerskill. Ashton goes on and gets inside a corner.
Is there another goal in this, Ollie?
I think if there is, it's going the way of Heidelberg, and considering that they've scored from a set piece before, I wouldn't be too surprised if they score from here. The corner's been taken short, and they won't be scoring on this occasion because they've lost the ball. They'd want it back almost straight away. Looks as though Chudia Tharjath will come on. Will have perhaps better memories than the last time he was here, having been given his marching orders for a second bookable offence. His team were on the winning side that night and look set to be here as well. Standing up off the bench and just doing final stretches. So he might get a few minutes or so as it's a free kick to the Warriors again, and you can just hear the frustration of the Thunder faithful, who probably know now that this game is gone and the chance to reach the Australia Cup final rounds have gone at the final hurdle, which they'll be bitterly disappointed with. They will have to pick themselves up off the canvas though before travelling to Paisley Park on Saturday. Heidelberg obviously playing away at Oakley, as was mentioned before. What looms to be a huge game. You can obviously catch all of the games on NPL.tv throughout the weekend. Harlior making the run forward. Now Braderman on the left. Soleimani switching into the middle. McGill. Mika. Or Camille Gilp again. Looking for Kiyusis. Mika has got space in which to drive. Was being pulled back. He'll need a shot away. Advantage played. Bird's cross blocked. Adam Bavkar not pulling it back. Didn't look like much of an advantage there, but Adam Bavkar waving play on. Allowing the game to go on. Mehmeti forward towards Braden Mann, who is just offside. And the Thunder fans, who have been rather quiet throughout the evening so far, have finally found their voice.
Aren't exactly in line where the linesman is either, Holly. They're actually behind the goal calling the offside there.
They've got reason to be disappointed, of course. Their team have been really flat throughout the majority of the game, which may provide Thunder with a cause for concern, perhaps, as they move forward throughout the rest of their league season. Heidelberg will have three competitions still to worry about, with the League, Australia Cup and the Doherty Cup, of course. As CJ had committed a foul and then kicked the ball against Dion Nicolaides. We haven't seen a card yet so far. And we still haven't. I thought that it was going to be the first card of the game, right on the edge of 90 minutes. But Adam Bavkar, as you said before, kept his cards away. And I think, on the large part, he's refereed this game very well. 3 additional minutes to be added on to the end of the 90. Yeah, we said that Adam Bavkar, pretty much off the top, was one of the best referees in the state, and he's shown why here. Showing that he's had experience at the top level, and he's more than good enough to reach that level again, you'd think, with performances like tonight. Mika forward for ZJ, who tried the clever flick, but got no substance behind it. Clearance was poor. Bird, the beneficiary, turned around by Mika. ZJ hacked down. And now there is a bit of afters. There's a yellow card to Kane Shepherd. And it seemed as though Dion Nicolaides had gone in with a bit of a punch there. Bit of a left hook. Don't think the referee has seen it, but it didn't look brilliant to the eye. Ali Suleimani set to whip this in. A goal may make it interesting, but they'd have to be near perfect from there. Suleimani's whip it in. White away again. Helped back towards McGill, who was brought down and has got a free kick. So maybe a chance for the Thunder fans to have something to cheer about from this. Near enough, position A1 from a set piece. Central, just outside the area, and maybe a chance for the deficit to be halved.
Oh, it's all happening with 2 minutes to go. The crowd is up and about. They've woken up, Ollie. Mercy Mehmeti in a very, very nice position with his very, very good left peg. Scored a very nice goal here. Actually, in a cup game against Brunswick, I think. Ollie, it's in the same position. Let's see, with literally maybe a minute to go, if he can put it away and maybe finish the game 2-1.
That was in stoppage time as well at the end of the 90. Poor from Mehmeti against the wall that did its job so well. And with frustration, has given away free kick. And after seeing no cards in the opening 90, we've seen 2. in second half stoppage time. Like London buses, you wait so long for one, and two come along at once. Sometimes that's just how it happens. And still there's a bit of push and shove, a bit of argy-bargy. So unnecessary at the end of this. Tudor Tharjath will now come on for the final knockings of this game. Kane Shepherd to come off, who was very close to the touchline, so very easy for him just to get off and straight to the bench. That first goal, so sumptuous, set Heidelberg on their way. And Tharjath straight into the thick of things. And that's the only bit of action that he'll get, as Heidelberg have done more than enough to find their way into the final 32 of the Australia Cup. It was a second half blast. 2 goals in as many minutes, seeing them through. A quite beautiful goal from Kane Shepherd. Set them on their way before Brian Summerskill tapped home to double their lead just a couple of minutes later. Professionally done from Heidelberg, who saw it out under no real duress. And the Thunder completely blunt, toothless in attack. And in the end, a disappointing night for them. But Heidelberg, full value for their win. And Adam Tahiri, the result, given what we saw, wasn't all that surprising.
No, it wasn't. Agree with you, Ollie. A well-deserved win for Heidelberg United. Some positive end to the game for Dandenong Thunder. They can take some positives out of that, but they're out of the cup. That is the beauty of the cup. You literally need to go all in and win it, otherwise you're out. Heidelberg on to the round of 32. Dandenong Thunder now out of the Australian Cup. These are those hard wins, Ollie, when it's very cold and you grind them out. Sometimes they're not pretty, but when you can win them and win them by 2-0, it's a very good job.
Of course, now for Heidelberg into the final rounds. The majority of the A-League men's sides now come in. A couple of those have already been bundled out due to playoffs, due to their A-League men's standings from the previous season, as the Heidelberg players get clapped off by their fans and serenaded off. There is a few Heidelberg fans that have got good value for their money coming here to George Andrews and seeing their team win twice in as many weeks here in Dandenong. They've won 2 times in 2 weeks, and tonight they've done it by a 2-goal margin in a game that as soon as that second goal went in, you thought was done and dusted. And that is how it proved to be. And that will just about do us here at George Andrews Reserve here for this Australia Cup round of 64, 7th round preliminary tie here between the Dandenong Thunder and Heidelberg United. Heidelberg winning by 2-0, a result which they richly deserved given the play during the game. For Adam Tahiri and the rest of the crew here at George Andrews, myself, Oliver Walker-Peel, seeing us out. We hope you've enjoyed the action here tonight, and we hope to see you for another Football Victoria game, be it NPL Men's, NPL Women's Victoria, Nike FC Cup, very, very soon. Bye for now.